Hey, besties. Let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Why is it Toni Braxton? Why is it Toni the Braxton? Why is it Toni, legendary singer Braxton? Why can't Toni just be your sister? Tamar do that. Trina did that a lot this episode. It's like, why do y'all put her on such a pedestal? Like you're her sister. Why can't she just be Toni? Why does she have to be the legend, the singer, the Braxton? You're a Braxton too. Look, besties, I have a cousin who is very famous. You know him, all right? He's my little cousin, okay? I don't call him the nothing. I don't call him by his first and last name. He's never the. He's just his first name, and that's it. I mean, and you wonder why the girl can't show up to nothing. Stop putting her on a pedestal. Why can't she just be your sister? I just don't get it. And then Trina asked Toni, "Oh, do you pray? What? What do you? What? What? Why did you ask that? Like, what? You think she's that close to God? Do you pray to Toni the Braxton? Who do you pray to? Trina? Oh, honey, I'll tell you this. They couldn't carry this show without Tamar. I'm sorry. Trina, Toni, boring. And if Towanda wasn't getting married, more boring. Dude. Welcome, besties. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I recap your favorite reality shows weekly. Now that's Kiki and Haha, and get into another episode of the Braxtons. It's season 2, episode 6, Wedding Countdown. How would you rate this week's episode, besties? And thumbs down. They need to get off this TV. This better be fake. If it's fake, okay. They're actors. But if this is real, they need to get off this show. Besties, please drop down in the comments to let me know what you thought about tonight's episode. Yes, like the video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and make sure your notification bell is on so that you know each and every time I post my content. Now, baby, let's get into it because, Okay, so the episode picks up from last week. Tamar's friend Phil recommends that she takes her sisters on a retreat so that they can get on one accord. Tamar is crying. She don't think they like her. She thinks her sisters hate her. She's tired. She's tired. She's tired. It's too much for her. And she's crying, and the tears go into the napkin. Okay. Cool. Toni and Trina go shopping. Trina is a realtor now. She has a very small office, and she wants Toni to decorate her room. Toni flies into Atlanta because she can carve out some time before her 2 boys graduate. She got 2 boys, both of her boys graduate. The oldest is graduating from a modeling institution, and the youngest is graduating from Howard University. So kudos to Denim and Diesel. Good job. But we didn't even see Diesel. We saw Denim in this episode. So I find it funny that Toni, the Braxton, she can fly from LA to Atlanta to decorate Trina's office, but she can't fly to where was the Tulum was Towanda'S bridal vacation, her bridal trip. She couldn't fly there. Toni couldn't fly to the girls' bridal shower, in which she told her she would be there. And she knew to be there 8 months prior. Yeah. I find that very, see, it's something about Tony I'm just not liking. I just can't believe she came to Atlanta just to go furniture shopping. Tony does what she wants to do. Uh-huh. So Trina is showing her pictures of the office in her phone. And so Tony swiped a little too much to the left or to the right, honey. And she saw Vaughn's Peter Weeder. And I'm like, Trina, like, Trina, Trina, for you to just be taking pictures of your new office and then you have a peen picture all mixed in right next to it. Why is that picture there? Like, how many pictures of his peen do you have? Like, make a folder, a file, put the heart on it and make it a favorite. Move it out of the way. Baby, it is still getting, I guess it still worked because he got congestive heart failure. Something in my mind says that maybe it's new, but not yet. Because Tony was like, it was big. It was confirmed that it was nice. Okay, great. Congratulations, Vaughn. So, Trina knows that Tony's going to come in and take over. Tony is telling her, well, I'm a realtor, I'm a doctor, I'm a chef, I'm an interior designer, and it's like, see, that's what happens when you put your sister on a pedestal. Now she does everything. And so Trina was trying to give her props and saying, it's because of you that I'm a realtor, because every weekend you would take us out looky-looing at the new properties. And Tony's like, yep, that was me. Give me my props. Yep, yep, yep. And then at the same breath, Trina's like, let me have my thing. Let me have my thing. Because she says she has sold one house already. And I'm like, well, whose house? Run's house. Okay, great. So Towanda and Sean are outside in the field playing with some RC helicopters. Okay, great. So they decide that they're going to introduce Mr. Larry to Miss Evelyn. Mr. Larry is one of Sean's friends. They ride bikes together. He's older, he's handsome, very mature, got it going on. So they go on a double date, and Miss Evelyn was open to it. By the way, have y'all noticed that Miss Evelyn has clearly had some work done to her face? Because baby, there ain't not one wrinkle, not she got some Botox in that face. That face was just as beautiful and clear and had no blemishes. And then, her makeup seemed a little lighter and she seems like she's lost some weight. But Miss Evelyn is living her best life, honey. She done got some work done, honey. She has gotten some work done, but I saw a glimpse and I think she needs to work on that neck next. Not that it's like Giselle's, but it just needs to be tightened up. If you're going to have a tight face, your neck needs to match. Okay. But I'm like, I see you, Miss Evelyn. You're getting your work done, honey. So she was open to meeting Mr. Larry. So they go on a double date. Everything is good. He knows how to pull out his chair. They are just, they're clicking. They're hitting it off. So Towanda tells Sean, he whispers, he's like, let's leave him. Let's ditch him. Let's get up out of here. Let him talk. Okay. So, Sean's phone rings. I don't know if Towanda had called him and he was pretending like he was talking to somebody. So he gets up. He's like, I'll be back. And she's like, take your wine. He like, okay, bet. So then she tells them to move their seats because they're sitting next to each other. They can't really see each other because Mr. Larry keeps turning his neck. So Towanda is so, Mama, move here. Do it. Come on. No, it's get on my nerves. I can't take it. Move here. And it's like, chill out. Miss Evelyn was like, he can turn his neck. It's fine. She was like, nope, you need to sit across from him so he could look at you. It's bothering me. She's like, okay. So Mr. Larry pulls out her chair. She moves her chair. So Tawanda's happy. Then Towanda gets up and leaves. I think Did her phone ring? Maybe, yeah, maybe Sean called her. I forgot what happened, but she gets up. So they leave. They actually left. Then the waitress comes over and tells them because they were like, "We need to go ahead and eat because my food getting cold." So Miss Evelyn was like, "All right, we need to come back here because this food is good." And you know I'm a cook. She let him know. He said, "What can you cook? Everything." I said, "No, Miss Evelyn, liking Mr. Larry. They do make a cute couple." So Tawanda and Sean, they leave, but they tell the waitress, they paid the bill and said, let them know that we left and we got the bill. It's all good. So Miss Evelyn's like, oh, okay. So she trying to figure out, did they tell him about the wedding? She said, I guess I gotta ask, honey. She said, I ain't got nothing to lose. So, have you been invited to the wedding? He was like, I think he said no. And so she asked him to come with her, and he said yes. So now Miss Evelyn says she has someone to dance with. And we love that for her. So then Trina and Vaughn are at the house cooking. Trina is learning how to cook healthier for Vaughn and his condition, with his congestive heart failure. She dropped something on the floor. Child. Vaughn picks it up. I don't know what it was, y'all. She said "Rouge" when it fell. It looked like maybe it could have been pasta. I don't know. But baby, he kissed it up to God and he ate it. And I was like, ugh, on TV, national TV, Vaughn. So Trina's all grossed out, like, I need my husband to eat off a plate, not the floor. And she's like, you want me to kiss you after that? He was like, yep. And you gonna do it. Cause he got a big peen. So she's fussing at him because he wanted some privacy when he talked to his doctor. And so he's like, I have a right to want to be, speak alone. It's about me, my health. And she like, nope, I'm your wife. I deserve to know. I got to know because I need to be informed and educated so I can help. Like, you can't just, and she's right. She's very much right. So he said, okay, nosy, since you want to know so much, do you want to know what I asked him? And she was like, I do. And so Vaughn was like, look, I asked the doctor, was I going to pass away like soon? Now, 3 years, 5 years, tell it to me straight. And so she was like, oh, yeah, that's why I was trying not to bring you into that. And she was like, well, what did he say? That I cackled at that. But what did he say? And it's his heart. So if you keep eating bad and off the floor, then you may pass before your time. If you take the precautions and take it and watch what you're doing and change and incorporate healthier eating habits and working out, then you'll stay longer. And he's afraid because his mom passed away with congestive heart failure. So shots out and prayers up to Vaughn. And I can't believe Trina asked Tony, do you pray? Like, what does that mean? Like, she's so big and mighty, she don't pray. And I mean, Tony cool and all, but she ain't like all the way there yet. But anyway, I'm a lightweight mad at Tony anyway. So Tony and Denham, they go for a fitting, because Denham is going to be in Tawanda's wedding. And she said that all the groomsmen have to wear brown suits, lavender shirts. So there's that on that. They get that done. Great. Tamar talks to her friend who I've seen on her podcast, and I believe she's a therapist, I guess. So they're talking, and Tamar gets to you know, get out how she feels because at this point she really has no one to talk to as far as sisters. And I really hate this for them because you would think that you lose a sister, right? And it just seems like that would bring you closer because you already lost a sister. And I just don't get the disconnect. The timing is off. Like, I understand you funking and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I just made up my uncle last weekend and I haven't fooled with him in over 10 years. But the timing of you guys, like, it seemed like Tracy passes away and Now y'all falling apart. And then what gets me is the parents don't have nothing to say. It seemed like Evelyn would be able to, and I know y'all, I'm sure they have done this 60 times, but maybe the 61st time will be the ticket. I remember Iyanla Van Zandt and TD Jakes, but it seemed like your mother should be able to check you. Y'all have lost a family member, a sister. That should be a reason to want to get along and talk and have the real conversation and therapy. Because I understand, I get it. I understand how you get fed up and you don't want to be bothered. I understand protecting your peace. You've tried, it won't work. I get it. She's a brat. You are stubborn. I get it. But y'all have lost a sister. So Tamar talks to her friend, and she realizes that she was never really invited to Tawanda's wedding. Like, that was whatever the showrunner's name is, OJ, OG. They called him something, Lucius, whatever his name is. She was being gaslit this whole time. Tawanda did not want her at her wedding. And a friend tells her, well, I know you want her to have a good time and enjoy her wedding day, and so Tamar's like, yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, I can still root for her, even though we in a bad space. So the friend is like, I really, you kudos to you for that, right? So the friend asked Tamar, like, how about having a sisters retreat? Why don't y'all do that? And so she said, create a clean slate, say sorry, be respectful, stop all that anger and arguing. Like, don't you want peace for your son? Tamar's like, yep. And so, Tamar's like, I don't want to disturb her special day. Like, she don't like me. I know some of her friends don't like me. And I don't want to be in that environment. And I don't blame her, And then she says, I don't want to intrude on her wedding day. Well, please don't. And so the friend is like, well, yeah, no, don't do that. But, you can wish her well, which that's good. But create an amicable situation with healing and closure, start something new. And she asked her, do you want a family, or do you want, you want to be amicable with this healthy and with this healthy situation? And so Tamar thought about it, and she was like, well, I think I would like to be amicable first, have some healing, close that chapter, and then pick number two, then start to become a family. And so Tamar says, she's a Pisces, and because she's a Pisces, she's gonna keep going up for her family. So if they want to go on this retreat, she's gonna be there. Just like this show. She didn't want to be on this TV show. Last season, she was a friend of. She's here and she has to film alone, you know? And I mean, that's something. Tony bucked up at her first. Trina, you got up, got in the way, and you kind of pushed Tamar back a little bit. Just a little bit. You touched her a little bit. You touched her. So she says she'll do it. Cool. Trina shows Faison love a 5-bedroom, 5-bathroom house. Um, Downstairs was a 2-bedroom, 2 more baths that was not finished. I guess that's like the basement on a lake. Did we get a price? I know it was on 2 acres of land. Did we get a price? I don't think we did. So they're supposed to be like, brothers and sisters. He comes, and yeah, he's playing around and talking about menage a trois and threesomes, and he got to take a poop in the bathroom, and where can he make hamburger helper? And it's like, him not funny. Mm-mm. And I don't know. I don't know his income, but I was like, can he afford that house? What have you done lately? I guess you still touring, but can you afford that house? Because it ain't cheap, because it's in Georgia. But anyway, hey, anyway, he loved the house. Moving on. So Tawanda and her bride tribe, they go to the nail salon. They're 2 days away from the wedding. And that week she had to go to the doctor to see if she can get her cast cut. So it's cut, but she's wearing it, pretending like she didn't get it taken off. And so Trina had asked, and she said, "Oh, they cut it off, but they had to put it back on." So Trina's like, "Oh my God, you can't just take it off and come back and get another one the next day." And so Tawana's like, "No." So she surprises her bride tribe and letting them know that she did get her cast taken off, but she has to wear a brace. So like after the reception, she has to put her hand in a brace because it's still healing. Because who knew she would be getting hit by a car right before her wedding? Like it was like this was a close call, right? So good for her. So Tony goes to Denham's graduation and she gives him a new Mercedes Maybach Electric. It's dark blue because his name is Denham. She surprised him. He was like, "Who's parking in my parking stall?" "Oh my gosh, bro." And Tony's like, "Greg, can you call the people to tell them?" And he's like, "Oh, hey, yeah, your mom bought you that for your graduation." "Oh, mom, you're the best. Oh my goodness." So I Googled how much that car cost, right? Now I know why she went to Miami to do that concert, honey. This car is almost $200,000. Child, child. This woman has filed for bankruptcy 2 times. Can you afford that, Tony? I'm just asking. Have you learned anything? And I mean, it's cute, okay, but Tony, but I do know you did marry Birdman, and he's rich. He just bought you a house. So I guess you can, honey, because that's why she's so in love with Birdman. I can't do it yet. Wait. Did I do it? Well, honey, we are at the last scene, honey. It is Tawanda'S wedding rehearsal. Tony said earlier that Tawanda has not been a bridezilla, at least yet. And so she's trying to get everybody together. Everybody's there. They're walking down, they're practicing when to step, where to park, what to do, what to look like, what don't do this. So one of the little girls, I guess she's like a junior bride, she's going to walk down and she's going to hold a hummingbird in remembrance of Tracy. And y'all, I had to stop and cry because that's so sad, because I just feel like the show would be more entertaining if Tracy was there. So RIP Tracy. Let's have a moment of silence for Tracy, y'all. We miss you, Tracy. Okay, so that was that, child. The parents were sitting next to each other. I said, "Look at Miss Evelyn, honey. I think she is healed, honey. I think the bitterness is gone. It has left plenty of damage. It's left plenty of damage. But for the most part, that was the end of the episode, besties. Next week is the season finale. It is a 2-hour, 2-part series episode. We get the wedding, and I'm gonna come and talk my talk. And it will be the last time because they're not gonna have a reunion. But we wrap the Braxtons up this week. I'm sorry, next Friday. Um, and to let you know, tomorrow, November 15th, Love and Marriage Huntsville starts back with their second part of whatever season we're on. So I'll be recapping that. Besties, don't look for Orange County. I ain't got it to do, honey. I got Salt Lake City, Potomac. I got the Braxtons. I got Bell Collective. And yeah, Orange County. So now I got Love and Marriage Huntsville. Just I saw Orange County Reunion Part 2. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. You have to find somebody else that's recapping that. I'm over it. Put a fork in me. I'm done. Because, baby, I had to do the Braxtons. I got to come back and do Bell Collective. Then tomorrow I got Love and Marriage Huntsville. And then Sunday I got Potomac. So, absolutely not. And like I said, I will not recap it if they don't recast it. Okay. Well, besties, that was the end. We look forward to next week, wrapping up season 2 of the Braxtons. Don't forget to share, comment, like, subscribe, and notification bell. And I'll be back with another recap. It will be Bell Collective. Bye, besties.